for example, if you talk about the goals, so first of all, what is important here is you set a goal. That goals would sort of drive you to take your decision of prioritization, whether you want to make it high priority or a low priority, depending on that goal. So the goal could be simple thing is in terms of it's the problem. It's basically what is it that we're trying to address. It's a problem statement. It's the question that we need to ask to find that answer. Whose problem am I solving? What problem is this? What is the kind of effect it is creating? How can I address this? These are things that you would try and address in the form of a goal. What I need to achieve at the end of this period. What is it that we're trying to come up with? What is it that we're trying to find the answer for? So that's the goal. A goal could be in the context of CSF is a critical success factor. It could be the amount of waste that you can kind of save from not producing. It's the amount of cost that you can cut. It's the amount of income that you can actually kind of generate more than what you did last year. All of these could be the goals. And then the action could be what you need to do to address that. That's a task. So what is it that as a customer, as a user, as a business owner, as a development team, as a developer, as an analyst, as an architect, what is it that each of us in our own role that we need to do to help address the problem, to help achieve the goal that we have set out? And then in terms of the tool, what it is basically, tools are ways of working, how we can achieve it, right? So tasks are what to do, and a tool is basically how we can achieve that. It would help us. A simple tool is basically like a simple machine in science. We studied in physics that simple machines help us, like a crowbar would actually help us lift the big stone using the lever, the leverage, right? So the crowbar there is basically a tool for us to lift the big heavy weight. And what to do is basically to move that big heavy weight from this place out of the road, for example. What tool do you use? Use a crowbar. And how would you address this problem is basically that's the goal, the movement of that particular huge stone lying on the road. So with that as an example, in the agile development, I'll give an example of this goal, task, and tool. So for in the concept, again, in the context of the e-commerce website we are building for selling the mobile accessories. So the goal could be to sell the mobile cases, at least 20% more than the screen protectors. That's the goal. So in which case you're setting that as the theme for the next one, and then the epics would follow. The epic would be to have, let's say, create a 360-degree view of the item, right? To have a 360-degree view of that item with a video of that. And then the user stories would have show the video, expand the video, play button, pause button, all of these have a pause, ability to pause it. All of these are these stories that actually are breaking it down further. So if ever you want to have a video, for instance, if you want to upload a video about a particular item, like for example, the mobile case. So you want to say that this should be a video showing the 360-degree view of this, top down, bottom up, sideways, and then it would show you that. And you can actually kind of use your own controls to be able to spin that around, stop the video at where you want to, zoom it in, expand it into a bigger screen. All of these are functionality, right? They're the functional features that what go into the stories. And then further into the tasks, how you do that. That's where you say you would define the tools and the, for example, you could use a video viewer tool that is already there as a third-party control that we can actually try and use. Instead of developing it, we can actually use that from the WordPress plugin, for example. WordPress gives you the plugin, so use that. That is a tool. So use the plugin of a custom controller to show the video, which has controls already there. So you don't have to worry about developing and working on that functionality. It's already done. Use that, right? That's a tool. So this, for example, in the context of a task-centric story. If you're talking about a tool-centric story, as an admin, this is how user story is written. As an admin, I wish to use an ACL. The ACL is access control list, which means what roles have got what features. So as a normal user, what can users do? They cannot delete anything. As a guest user, they can view some things. As what should I say? As a registered user, you can get to view everything, and you can add more videos. And as an admin user, I can view, I can add, I can edit, I can delete users as well. So I've got full control. So this is what is called an ACL, access control list, so the permissions and all that. So the tool centric could be you're using a tool called ACL, the access control list tool, so that you can manage the user's permissions, what they can do on the website. So that's the example of a tool centric story. And when it comes to this task centric story, you can actually say that you slightly turn this in, and then you say that if you want to do the same thing about managing the permissions to the site of users, you say that I wish to add a new user to the list. So you're saying something about doing something that's called task. So you're actually kind of flipping the story from a tool to that of a task. So that's the difference that you're trying to bring forth with the tasks and the tools. A very, very important thing. Again, that would drive you in terms of what tools you need, what kind of tasks are required. Again, prioritization right from the goals. So you have, like, say 10 goals. You can actually specify and prioritize 2 out of them, and from there on it flows. So the tasks and then